Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Does anyone else just hate Tony right now as much as I
Yes,
do?
so freaking much,
I'm
actually.
You know,
What did Tony do to all of you?
it's rough when someone
Owen.
comes in and calls
Stop
you
with
out
the
on
brown nosing.
when
Take the
someone
brown
comes
off
in
your
and
nose.
calls you out on
Pay you.
calls
For
you out on all
one,
your crap.
welcome.
Yeah, you start to get frustrated with the guy that's saying, "Hey, take care of your
Or how about
shiz."
someone who invents crap?
That would
That's
be
me.
you
do
inventing
that.
the crap I have to
We
call
are-
you out on.
Everybody poops, Tony.
That's
Fair.
right.
That's true.
Except for Tony. Except for
No,
Tony.
it is. I do, and it is not something we're going to talk about. All right.
In between.
This maybe that's poop talk is the in between show. This is the Geek Show Help Desk. If you haven't turned it off already, where we talk about tech, gadgets, and science related things.
Or
Frickin'
whatever the
Tony.
heck we want. Or whatever we want.
Orlando's just mad
I'm
because
salty today.
he hasn't done his
Tony,
his
Lando
card
wanted-
his card yet that he promised for Christmas.
Lando's salty because he wanted salty snacks and couldn't get them.
Yeah,
That's it.
and
Because they're all crunchy. Think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Most
You can't do crunchy on the show.
Here's the
I
thing,
can't have
buddy.
crunchy on the
All right.
You can do it.
Let's introduce our panelists. We got
Sneezing Karen.
Captain No Crunch himself, Lando.
I want you to know, right now, the life of Lando is insane and busy, and just. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for your crap today, Tony. That's
we just
all.
want
That's Lando.
we just want you to do the things you say you're going to do. And
You know what?
and-
That's totally fair. Here's the
And-
problem.
and
I'm going to be
review-
straight up with you. I'm going to
and
give the
review-
podcast listeners
No,
the
please
truth
don't. No,
that
it's
they
okay.
deserve.
Next panelist.
I do this for free.
yeah, we
So
all
you
do
get,
this
you
for
get
free.
what you pay for.
We all do this for free.
You do the.
We-
Some people,
We do this for the joy of it,
But
and
now
for
that
the
I'm actually-
occasional,
but
and
they
for the
didn't get what they-
occasional
but they
review
didn't get what
money.
they paid for, did they?
No, they haven't because they actually pay for it, and I have not done jack diddly crap.
So-
Now that I think about it, I'm an awful person.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Now
You
I
know
feel
what?
worse about myself.
And
I
You
hate
can end
the
the show
intro.
early. It's not going to get better than that.
Oh
We
my
finally
gosh.
got someone to send us something for free to review, and you've been sitting on it for 3 weeks, and you haven't
Huh?
reviewed it yet, Lando.
I'll get to it.
I'll,
Tony!
Here's what. Does it make hot chocolate? Because I'll do that all day long.
It does
No,
not.
It's
It does
just
not do that.
espresso. As the only coffee drinker on the panel, it's a portable
For
espresso
something-
maker.
For something that fancy, I might have taken a swing at doing coffee.
Maybe I am a
But
coffee
that's
guy.
the same temptation I feel when it's like switch to iPhone. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds. I just can't do it.
Yeah, well, there you go. You can't do it. It's Owen.
Hey, I can do it. Just so we're clear. Not that old. Oh, sorry. That just slipped
Okay, my
right
intro's
out.
done, and I hated everything about it.
We
and I
already
feel
moved
bad.
on to Owen. We know
Yeah.
you're
We
done.
just did mine.
I'm not paying
Follow
attention either,
follow
apparently.
me- follow me all around. Follow me here because this is where you're going to get
Sorry,
the most
Owen.
energy. I save all my energy for this. That's it.
I have
Okay.
not saved any energy for this show.
He's over there. He's Jaren. Just
Hey,
hanging out.
hi guys.
What a train.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Geronius. Let's forget the previous name ever happened.
Jared.best. We ain't never gonna forget that one, buddy.
And you can find me on Geek Show Arcade. And we have a host. His name is Tony.
I think
That's right. And that just made your camera zoom out. That thing, by the way.
There it goes.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
I'm the jerk host, Quad T. Check me out on Blue Sky at Quad T or on other Geek Show shows where I'm not in charge, so I'm not as much of a jerk.
Oh,
All right.
I'm going to change Jaren's name in Discord to Jaren.best. Make
You don't have that kind of power.
You know that I do.
Oh, no. Really? Oh, crap.
I don't know if I do. I just wanted to say it like that.
All right.
Anyway,
do we have
fair.
any emails?
Yeah.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
That's good to hear.
Would you like me to read them?
I would. Let's have a couple
Please, sir.
We have 5, so I think I'll go for 3.
today.
Are they
Sounds
all
good.
for Helpdesk?
2 are in arcade, but they're actually help desk, so I'm going to read them in
Oh.
help desk.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Got an email
Hopefully they listen to
from,
both shows.
from Jeremy. He says, "Hi guys. First off, I'd like to thank you for the help on the Apple M3 laptop. Just paid off the last installment. It's a wonderful machine. You're
Yep.
welcome. It is a wonderful machine. on your PC or game console discussion. I'm strictly a game console Xbox user. I don't have the space to deal with a PC just for gaming, and I also don't want to deal with the components and builds and water coolant systems like crazy stuff like you guys talk about. I can't deal with it. I need to relax and play games on my big screen with no worries. But I can see
feel
why
that.
people would really get into PC builds. Now to the question. I'm looking to build a NSA, network storage attachment.
Yeah, it's supposed to be NAS, network attached
Yeah.
storage.
What would you
We
recommend?
know what he meant.
Brands? And how good does the internet need to be? Trying to convince my wife now to up our internet to a gig. And I think you can use that as an excuse. I would say, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
you don't need a gig, but yeah, you can use that excuse.
Dude.
And I think I need that to work with all the photos I'm going to put on there. Photographer using Lightroom.
mean-
You're all equally the best, except Lando, Jeremy.
It doesn't say that.
It doesn't say except
Was
Lando.
there a little
I
bit of
added that.
editorial right there?
little creative right.
No, he says you're all equally the best, Jeremy.
All
Jared, I
right.
thought
Well,
we're on the same page with hating on. We're hating on Tony tonight, not
Is it-
You're right.
Lando.
I let me rewind.
is it my turn? Okay, give it another shot.
Go, Tony.
What's your turn?
Yeah, what's
Oh,
your turn?
I thought it was my turn to get hated on, so I said give it
Oh.
another shot. If
No,
you're
no.
gonna do
It's your turn to answer his question.
Okay, I hate to break it to you, Jeremy. Was that who it was?
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't need faster internet to take advantage of a NAS because all of that runs internally on your local area network.
No.
Unless you expose it to
No.
the internet.
Right.
Only if you're going to expose it to the internet and use
Yeah.
it as private cloud storage.
Which you should do.
Yeah, I agree. You should do.
I don't know if I
Why
like
not?
that
What?
personally,
So
because you're
who has a-
exposing your network to the internet. When
who has a NAS?
You don't really
Lando,
need
do you
to.
have a NAS?
I do not. I use
Jaron,
yours.
do you have a NAS?
I do not.
Tony
But I have
has
other
a
things
NAS.
exposed
I
to the
do.
internet.
You have a NAS. You have a like a third party
So,
one, right? Like an
I
official.
went with a company called TerraMaster,
Okay.
and they do I think it's a 5-bay. So it's a 4-bay or a 5-bay. But I use, and then you can put. It comes with an OS on there if you want to. It's a low power PC. It's got like a Intel Celeron processor and 16 gigs of RAM, and the 4 or 5 hard drive bays, as well as a little NVMe slot, so you can put
Oh, that's dope.
a small NVMe drive on there to use as a cache, which speeds up your transfer speeds up to a point, but it comes with its own OS, and I dumped that when I got it, and I put on a program called Unraid, and Unraid is a very good NAS solution OS for that. There's also another one that you can do that's called I forget the name of the other one. Linus Tech Tips always talks about it. That's the other
I know
one
what you're
they
talking about. It's very good too.
The other one they like to use. They always talk about that or Unraid, and they're both quite good. So you don't actually have to really build anything. It comes all put together. You just need to flash it with a new OS with a USB drive, and then add the hard drives. And then if you want to get kind of crazy, you can open it up and put a solid state drive in the NVMe slot. But there's lots of different options out there too. There's Synology. There's
Oh, I just upgraded mine, so I upgraded mine to that ASUS store, which is the NVMe full.
So you went
full
full
NVMe.
solid state on
Mhm.
yours, which is a lot faster than what I have, but it's also a lot more expensive.
It
'cause
is.
solid
How
state
much was
drives-
yours for the 5-bay without drives?
I want to say it was like $300.
Oh yeah, that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Mine was like $650.
Get closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Mine was like $650, and but it was a 12-bay. But
You
that's
can fit
no
12 NVMe drives
12
on there.
12 in there. They have
That's
a 6.
awesome.
So the one I use is called ASUS Store, ASUSTOR, and it's got a great app for your phone. You can set it out to the internet. You can cloud. It's like a private cloud. It's all cool. It's all controlled on there. Lando,
I have a question. Was it $600 before storage, or
$600 before
He's talking
storage.
about empty.
Yeah.
so it's even
So-
more after you buy
yeah,
a new? That's
so-
why you were
and
so
then
excited to find all those drives on sale.
So I wait. Yeah. So I
Mhm.
wait every year for the Amazon sales, the Black Friday sales, to find those, because I decided to go to legit ones with the DRAM on board, right? Because the drive matters. So I went with those SN850 Western Digital ones, the X, I think. 2 terabytes, and I wish I would have done 4 at this point because the 2 terabytes are hard to find now, and they're pretty expensive. But the 4s would have kept me over for longer.
So, one of the cool things about using Unraid is you can use different size drives.
Any size, yeah.
And
I
it
know.
just the way that it works, it uses one big drive for parity, and then everything else. So if you lose a drive, you still have parity. I think I can lose 2 drives.
Do you feel like Unraid is like user friendly though, or do you have to? Is it more advanced? Because like the Asus store is very user friendly.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little bit in the weeds, not too
Yeah.
bad, but it does have a GUI, So
Yeah.
so once you get it loaded up and get an IP assigned to it, you just log into it from your computer on your
Yeah.
network with the IP, and you have a GUI right there to do stuff. So
I have an answer. There was a Linus Tech Tips video about a year ago. It's a build your own NAS with NVMe drives. It's called Friendly Elec. ELEC.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, $145. It's basically a Raspberry Pi, but with storage for NVMe on there.
That's cool.
Right.
So you can build your own NAS, and it's 145. I already said that. $145. It's a project I've been wanting to do for a while.
What's the
But-
enclosure like?
It's just a bare motherboard. That's it. So you'd have to
So
bring your
you-
own enclosure.
Print,
Yeah, but you
print
could
your
3D
own-
print one, I'm sure.
Print your
Oh
own
yeah, I'm sure you
enclosure.
could.
So I'll check this. I don't know if it's going to come through on the camera, but so there's my. I don't know. That's not very good. There's my NAS bottle cap for scale.
All I see is Tony in the reflection.
Oh, yeah. Hey Tony. Don't
Behold,
But
bottle
it's
cap
like
for
it's about the
scale.
size.
Here,
it's
hold it
about the
up
size-
again. Hold it up
it's a-
again.
It's about the size of a book.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. So it's about the size of a book, and it's about 2 inches wide, which is one of the things about it. Over a traditional NAS, they're quiet. It's really small, right? So the NVMe ones, super fast. I am nervous about the read-write decay, right? Because NVMes suffer from that.
You're probably gonna be fine though.
I know.
think
I
we
don't
have an
read and
issue.
write enough to make it like do that, but I have freaking loved it. So those drives, just so you know, I only got 6 of them because I'm poor. I was gonna say cheap, but I'm actually poor. And they were 180 or 160 a piece to get those drives.
Yeah, if you tried to go on 4 terabyte though, you'd have been paying like
I know.
$360 a piece.
I
so
know.
close
It
to
would-
400.
It
So
during Black Friday, they came down to like 230 or something, 240, which was still.
Well, now we're gonna read 2 emails because
Okay,
Owen
sorry.
got talking.
I didn't get talking. Tony
I did
talked
find
more than I.
I did find the TerraMaster that I bought. It's a 4 bay.
You know, we can cut one of my stories to read one more email.
Yeah,
I'd
do
allow
that.
it.
It is 4 bay and it runs for $460, but right now they have a 992 for some reason. $92.
Are you running the 72 RPM drives in there, like the
Yeah, yeah.
standard?
Yep, 7,200. There's a $92 off coupon, so you can get it for basically for $370.
Yeah.
But-
That's the budget-friendly way. I do so much storage with Plex server. I love it.
Okay, so I determined the next email is it flirts with Arcade, so let's do it on Arcade because we don't have any other emails for Arcade.
That's a good plan.
All right, got an email from James, not that James, another James.
Oh,
Hello, other James.
He says, I'm planning on beginning to learn about AI by building an AI generator server out of a system that I already have. I have a tiny Optiplex 5055 AMD Ryzen 3 2200G, 24 gigabytes of RAM. I don't know, came with the system, and an old Corsair CX430 power supply with a 24-pin to 6-pin converter cable. And picked up a used Nvidia 3060, 12 gigs of VRAM. I also ordered a new case from Newegg since the GPU is bigger than the Optiplex case. My question is, should I upgrade the motherboard, processor, RAM, or is this setup good enough for now? Will the
Well, that's a
AI
whole-
nonsense be horribly bottlenecked by the CPU? No, it
I
will not,
have
because
so many
AI won't
questions.
even use the CPU.
It
or
runs
the
on
RAM.
the GPU. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, you have a new computer at that point. If you decide to do
Yeah.
the CPU, RAM, and motherboard, you're already in a new box, so that's just a whole new rig at that point. But
so I guess the one hitch there is the power supply large and high enough to support that.
3060
card, right?
is fairly low power.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
fine.
The
good
main
call.
limiting factor is the VRAM on your GPU. Now
Yeah.
it's good that it has 12 gigs of
Yeah.
VRAM instead of 6.
Yep.
However, that is still very small for generative AI. You're gonna have
Depends
to,
on what. Yeah, depends on what kind of AI.
yeah,
he's-
you're gonna have to choose some of the smaller models, and
Yep.
it'll work.
Yeah, I'd say give it a go. Sounds like you got something fun to tinker with.
If you just
24
make an
gigs of
AI that
RAM
will
is
make an
is
AI that just constantly reaches out to Jaren.best and reminds him of that name on his actual Blue Sky, Geronius. And
that's an assignment for him.
yeah, that's all we want.
There you go. 24 gigs of RAM was probably at the time that the system was built. They threw a 16 gig stick and an 8 gig stick in. I betcha whoever.
You think it'd be better to even those out?
Yeah, I would.
I always
because I'm
match.
anal retentive. It's probably fine the way it is, but I'd just sit there and be like, "Oh, that bugs."
I've always heard that like you want to have the DIMMs match.
You do.
Like
it's better because you get better speed if you can fill both up equally with the data, right? But when he's just using this for AI, all of that's going to be on the GPU anyway. So
I want to know more about how he's looking to actually start with AI.
There's a bunch of small little GitHub projects you can go download.
Yeah, so I mean, I've started thinking around with AI. I'm actually in a class right now through UVU where we're creating chatbots like from a development point of view, and we're using something called Olama on the back end, which is like you can download LLMs on your machine, so they run there, which is actually really interesting. But like, it sounds like he's doing this listener, James, is looking to do more than that. He's looking to generate his own LLMs.
No,
I have so many follow-up questions.
I think he's installing something like that.
Yeah. So Olama's an option. LM Studio is an option because you can download whatever model you want with LM Studio. You're not restricted to just Llama and a few other Llama-based.
Llama is one of the better free ones, though, that I've read. But yeah, a lot of options out there. Cool. Thanks for writing in. Good luck. You got another one, Jaren?
We got two more, but you can save them.
All right. Okay, let's get on to the stories.
Let's go.
So Jaren and I both have some MWC news.
Is it more exciting this year than it was last year?
Did we link to the same exact? Yeah, we did. We linked to the same exact story.
It's okay.
All right, you want to cover the Samsung stuff, and I'll cover the Lenovo stuff.
Okay. Samsung announced some mid-range phones. Yeehaw!
That was it. I thought they showed off some screens too.
Well,
maybe it wasn't in this article. I saw in another article that they showed off some folding screen concepts, like one in a briefcase, and like it was weird.
The Xiaomi stuff that interests me.
Okay, hit the Xiaomi stuff.
We don't get phones in the U.S. from Xiaomi because it's China, and yeah, you can use your imagination there. But anyway, they announced a camera phone. It's literally a camera with a phone on it, or a phone with a camera on it. You decide. But it has a 1-inch sensor on it, which is absolutely nuts. 1-inch sensor is huge.
Wait, was this what I was telling you about?
Yeah, it is.
Is it an actual 1-inch sensor though?
Engadget says it's a 1-inch sensor.
Interesting.
So I'm going with it. And they have another one where it's 1 and 1.2 inch sensor, which is about 0.7. So you just basically do the division. From what I understand. So a camera with crazy huge sensor sizes on it, which is just unheard of in a phone. And the idea of a large sensor is it allows more light to hit it, meaning the images will look better because images are light. So very cool what they're doing. The phone is hideous.
Is this an attachment that makes it bulky on one end, or is that permanent?
Yeah, so on one end they have this giant circle that takes the full width of the phone.
Big.
It's huge. And then they have a attachment, like a camera attachment that you can attach to it, which has like a grip. You know how cameras are, so you can actually hold on to it. See grip on the side. With a shutter button that is actually a shutter button, unlike Apple's pale imitation of a shutter button. But yeah, periscope lens on there, 200 megapixels, which, you know.
I love that kind of pickle.
I hope they're pixel binning that. Otherwise, it would just be completely worthless. 4.7x optical zoom with that periscope lens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't the 1-inch sensor on a 50 megapixel I think the 200 megapixel is one of the other cameras on there.
Right.
Yeah,
So the 1 inch is on the 50 megapixel main sensor.
Okay.
And then the periscope has 200 megapixels, and I think that has the larger sensor, not 1 inch, but still larger than most smartphone sensors. But other than that, it has basic smartphone specs like AMOLED display, 120 hertz refresh rate, blah, blah, blah. But really, the interesting part here is they went balls out with this camera, and I like it.
It's in coordination with Leica, or at least they paid for Leica's name on it. I don't know how much Leica was actually involved.
Like
Is that how you say it?
Harman
Leica?
Kardon being on every single gadget for a while, even though it sounded terrible.
Exactly.
It was a brand thing.
It's a branding thing. All right, Lenovo trotted out some weird stuff. They're all about screens as well this time. Now we talked about their CWS thing where they had a laptop that had a rolling screen. It would unroll and make it taller, so you had more vertical space. Well, this time they came with one of them that was a fold out, so it folds out on both sides, 2 more screens, just like that concept from years ago that Razer had.
3 screens.
3 screens on a laptop.
Did it get stolen?
Pretty neat. This one hasn't been stolen, not like the Razer one.
That was a pretty cool thing.
The 2 side displays don't look great quality, though.
They don't look as nice. Yeah.
Just in the picture, they're like half as dim.
Yeah. If you're gonna do that, you gotta have at least close to the same quality as the main display, or else it's distracting.
Agreed.
They also trotted out a laptop that has the whole top of the lid is a solar sensor, panel.
That's kind of cool.
So you can charge it just by leaving it out. It will add where'd the
2% battery
go?
life.
Yeah.
No.
Would you like to have your laptop stolen while you attempt to charge it?
It said 20 minutes in the sun will give you an hour of video playback.
Oh,
So it's
maybe
actually
like
pretty good.
20 to 30 minutes real usage then. That's actually not bad. That's
Yeah,
more than I thought it would
exactly.
be.
And it says as little as 0.3 watts of light is enough to start charging the battery. So trickle
That's
charge.
neat.
So yeah, it's kind of cool.
So could it just charge like on an internal light source?
Yeah, 0.3 watts.
Oh yeah, just like daylight, just like ambient light.
Yep.
That's kind of neat. Okay.
And then they also did another tall laptop display concept, but instead of rolling out, this one folds up. But it doesn't fold in on itself, it folds out. So when the laptop is closed, there's a screen on top.
Careful putting that thing away.
That's the thing. Very likely you might, scratch that if you're not careful.
The Verge demoed it by having a giant calculator app, like the Windows calculator. So if it scales up, the buttons are freaking huge.
Just big.
And the trackpad has a built-in
numpad.
Numpad. And it's a capacitive touchpad, so like there's no haptic feedback, and it would just be a horrible experience.
Yeah, those never work out very well, but yeah, they call it the Flip AI PC proof of concept because you got to put AI in there for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it folds just not the direction you would think it would fold when you're unfolding it, or when you fold it up, I should say. So kind of neat. Practicality wise, maybe not so much, but it's good to see companies like this pushing innovation in all directions because something might come out of it that you don't expect later on. So, all right, there's your MWC coverage.
Hey, no, nothing. They announced some phones.
Oh, right.
And I like to cover that because I think Nothing's actually a pretty cool brand. They are the spirit animal of OnePlus, or the spirit of OnePlus, what OnePlus used to be. But they make cheap, good phones, and they announced the 3A Pro, as well as the 3A, but there is no phone 3.
Yeah.
So whatever, but it's basically they're attempting to put better cameras on the devices, but they're attractive little phones with a light software touch. I like it.
You're getting Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 chipset this time instead of the MediaTek stuff they had in the previous one, which isn't to say it's better or worse. It's just different. It might be a little better as far as your radio stuff goes because Qualcomm has really good radios. But
3A is $379 and the 3A Pro is $459.
Yep.
So Very good prices.
Reviews are out for that. Actually, it came out today. I watched MKBHD's review on it, and he liked it a lot. He said it was really good to see, like the good quality for the money, big time. So there you go. Let's see. Let's talk about what is an SBD version of the Office suite.
Silent but deadly. Squeaks out. Microsoft squeaked out an SBD version of Office. It's free, completely free. You can get a free version of Office right now. They're not.
Well, I like
but
that.
it runs with ads
I
permanently.
don't like that.
Always ads. So, they're trialing this idea of, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product, and they put ads in front of your eyeballs on the little sidebar, normally where useful information would be about your document or whatever, that everybody closes because they're like, what the heck is this? Well, now it's permanent and it has little ads, like stuff you can purchase. Like this one is for Clipchamp or something. Anyway, so there you go.
Hymns.
Yeah, this one's
a little
for
blue pill.
yeah.
A little blue chew.
This is for hymns, and you can choose one of 3 varieties. You got the blue, the white, or the yellow.
And
Depending on
Microsoft
which-
is quickly becoming the cable TV of software.
They really are. Just I feel like they're behind in the
Ugh.
data game, and they're trying to find a way out of all of the big companies out there that are messing with an AI. I feel like they're the ones that didn't get their hands on some sort of data reservoir, like some sort of Reddit or something. Like Meta had Facebook, and ChatGPT stole from Reddit. And
Well, Microsoft has ChatGPT.
Is
That's
using
what they're using.
ChatGPT though.
Well, yeah, they bought it, but they're still not
No,
getting
they,
the best
they
version.
didn't buy ChatGPT.
No,
They're not-
they
I mean,
invested
they
10
licensed
billion or whatever.
it, is
Yeah,
what
they
I
licensed
mean.
it, but they're not getting the best stuff out of it. It's if you've compared Copilot to ChatGPT, it's not even a.
Well, you're forgetting Apple here, and they've completely
Oh, true. You know,
got
what?
nothing.
sucking up.
They
the
have
AI
been
race.
though. Right, that's true. That's true.
So
Does
they're not
Apple
that bad.
Apple has a data? Do they not have a data stream from there? Didn't we figure out they were doing something like scanning pictures or something? No? Okay. Well, anyway, Microsoft is quickly just becoming this leave behind. Like they're just kind of like, oh, we need to do something. And so there you go. You got ads in your free version of Office. Maybe that's cool though. Maybe you can't afford Office any other way. So
I was gonna say the fact that it's an option at all, maybe not so bad.
yeah.
Maybe it's not for me, but I'm sure it will benefit somebody.
I haven't read the EULA, so I don't know exactly what
Yeah.
you're giving away, right? Like you don't know, like
Do they own whatever you write in Word with that version
yeah,
of
right?
Word?
Or do they get to browse all your files? Because it goes, oh, Word needs access to your files.
Yeah.
Word would like access to OneDrive. Do they get to parse? Like I don't know. When it seems too good to be true, it usually is. So
Well, we lost Jaron.
we lost
I'm
his
here.
video. His video froze about.
He keeps
a minute
playing with
ago.
his new webcam.
I accidentally
and
turned it off.
like I
It's
said,
actually better.
he keeps playing with his webcam.
Anyway,
Quit
silent
playing
but
with your webcam.
silent but deadly. I thought it'd be funny. They did it to not very much fanfare.
So is it
kinda-
out public release though?
I believe it is. Yeah. Let me. That's what I was trying to I was just trying to look that up. If you can actually get your hands on. How do I get
Oh my gosh, real life Googling on the show.
ads? It's
This is the
ChatGPT.
content.
It's ChatGPT. Settle down.
It's not Googling. It's ChatGPT.
Yeah.
All right. Let us know what you find out later. Lando, what's a woolly mouse?
Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing I've seen all day. Like
They did.
you guys have
Just-
seen the movie Jurassic Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard
Jurassic
of this
Park.
movie.
This
Yes.
is basically Jurassic Park, but in real life, right? So we've talked about CRISPR on the show, I'm sure, a couple times, right? But this is
Oh, I
basically
love these stories.
there's a company called Colossal Biosciences. They're a biotechnology company. They specialize in, get this, de-extinction efforts. That's what they do.
Sounds apocalyptic and nefarious.
So what they've done is they've used
Continue.
CRISPR gene editing techniques to introduce mammoth genes, woolly mammoth specifically, into mice embryos, therefore creating woolly mammoth mice.
They made a
and these
crazy
things
hybrid.
are freaking sweet looking. Look at the pictures. Like,
Yeah.
this
just
is
sounds
straight up
like
Jurassic Park is what
this
this
Yeah,
is.
this feels like unethical biohacking at this point.
This is how you
How does this get
lose-
them closer to de-extinction, though?
Well, they were able to take attributes and traits from a woolly mammoth, which is extinct.
Yeah, but
and
how is
introduce
this-
those characteristics back into mice, right? This is a first step. This is
these
the
are
first
first
test,
steps. Yeah, baby steps.
right? But eventually, we could introduce woolly mammoth traits into things like elephants or the other things closer, and all of a sudden, woolly mammoths are back on the menu.
You know, this is okay. You went straight to eating them. I appreciate that.
As appreciates that back like the Flintstones version.
But that's what's coming, right? I mean, you
For the rich
create a woolly
people.
mammoth. What's the first thing you want to do? I
For
want
the
to try
rich
one.
people.
For
I'll
sure.
taste it.
First thing you got to do is have a woolly steak.
This is always how science fiction apocalypse movies start, though.
Always.
Yep.
Look at this
Yep.
cool gene editing we did.
Some scientists that's so focused in, they're not looking at unintended consequences.
Just because you can doesn't
So
mean
the
you
article
should.
goes on to say that this achievement's a significant milestone. Blah blah blah. They're looking to produce a woolly mammoth-like calf by 2028.
Wow.
Well, that's not
Yeah.
very long away.
Not
If
at
I'm
all.
still
That's pretty
alive by
crazy.
then, I want to talk about that.
We'll follow up with that in 3 years.
Yeah, if I'm still around, I'd like to hear about that.
So, but
All
just
right.
because they've done this, other experts are sounding the warning bells, saying, de-extincting larger mammals like the mammoth involves additional complexities. Reducing them back into the
I
food
feel like-
chain, biomes, all
I
that
feel
kind of
like
stuff.
extinctions that happened pre-human cause
Should
were
be left
probably
alone.
meant to be.
I
Right?
agree.
Like there was balance in the force. Ooh, that's loud.
That's loud.
What's that going on?
Anyway, I saw this article. I'm like, this is freaking sweet. And the pictures of the woolly mammoth mice are pretty dope.
they are
crazy
pretty.
looking.
They're pretty cute.
They are. It's true.
They are pretty cute. I
They
bet
look
they have a
like-
horrible.
They look exactly like
horrible-
you think they would, and I want one.
I bet they're in horrible pain.
Just let us die.
Kill us.
All right. In less cool news, we got some more software unlock shenanigans happening in the world of electric vehicles. So you remember how Tesla will let you tap into battery that they've, what would you say, cordoned off via software?
Yeah.
If you want to extend your range, it's like an extra $5,000 for
Doesn't
20
that
miles.
sound like a taunt to hackers? Like,
It
doesn't
does,
that
yes.
sound? Yeah.
Well, it turns out Rivian is doing the same thing.
It's like removing the headphone jack, just following the market.
For some of the models of the Rivian R1S or some of the R1Ss and the R1Ts, you'll be able to pay, what was it, 7,000? Oh, it's 5,000 also as well.
I freaking hate this. I hate this. This is the same kind of thing BMW
BMW.
is doing, right? We're gonna
Yeah.
make you pay
They
to
backed
use the
off
seat
on
warmers
that
that are already
after the
there.
they backed off on that after the outrage.
Right, but you get my point. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's the
the
same-
same kind of
thing.
bullshit.
Except
nonsense.
for Tesla proved that people. So that's like taking something away that people don't want, right?
This is like James' big gripe about the Switch, right? The
or a
Bluetooth's
solution
there,
finding
but we're not going to
problem.
enable it for 2 years
But-
from now.
Battery life is
yes.
a commodity. Battery extension is something that people actually want, though. So there is a market for it.
The
You
difference
know?
between the Switch thing, though, is I really don't think they had that in the works when they launched the system in the beginning.
Just
And the only reason I think that is because they put a warning out after they dropped the update that said if you enable Bluetooth headphones, you will only be able to connect 2 controllers to your Switch at one time instead of 4.
the buses. They didn't have buses.
So they basically just repurposed 2
It's
of
this-
the Bluetooth
it's-
connections.
I understand you're splitting some hairs here, but it's a very similar thing, and you understand my similarities there. The only difference between Nintendo and Rivian and Tesla here is Rivian and Tesla are making you pay for it,
Well, yeah, and I
But
think
it's something people
absolutely
want, though.
sucks.
right.
I think
Like,
this
there's
was
a market.
something they probably had this in mind at the start, whereas Nintendo's I think was just down the line. They're like, hey, we can do this, we should do it.
Tomato,
Tesla-
tomato.
No,
Tesla
that-
proved
that's-
Tesla
I
proved
don't.
that people.
I mean, I
It's
understand what
different
you're
things.
saying, but
It's
I don't.
different
I think it
things.
doesn't matter.
Tesla proved that people would buy it, just like Apple proved that even when they ripped out the IR blaster and the headphone jack, that people would keep buying iPhones. And now other companies are like, well, they're making money doing
The
that.
difference between ripping out the headphone jack is I couldn't pay to put it back in.
Yeah,
It was just
exactly.
gone.
But
It's
would
just
you have
gone.
if you could have?
So
I would have, yes.
Yeah, that's what they're banking.
But it would be a hardware thing. Like, it would be a different model of phone, and I would pay for that model, not for, like, a feature that all... I don't know. I think this is nonsense. I personally hate it.
This one
I'm gonna just tell you that
specifically
right now.
is a little bit different than Tesla's in that you don't get more range, but you get more power. So for $5,000, you go from 533 horsepower to 665 horsepower, 610 foot-pounds of torque to 829 foot-pounds.
Oh, that's
of torque.
significant.
So the motors are capable of doing that.
Exactly.
From the
Tesla
get-go.
does the
You do the
same
paid
thing.
unlock
Oh,
server.
I get that, though.
Tesla does it for performance and battery as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Lando, okay.
Yeah.
Say you wanted to buy a 2-wheel drive model of a truck because you liked the body, though, right? Like you're getting the Rivian for a cheaper price because you're not unlocking those features. But Rivian doesn't have to manufacture and engineer a different car to
hold
sell
on.
you that same price.
I want to be very clear on what's happening right now. You are arguing for corporate America right now. You are
just saying.
shilling
I'm
for the
just saying.
corporations to
I'm just saying-
make their
I'm just
life
saying-
easier.
I'm just
Are you
saying-
not?
I'm just saying, isn't the confusion better? And then that vehicle
No!
has
No,
that
the
vehicle's
confusion-
that. Now let's continue on. Then that vehicle has better secondary market life because now a person that didn't ever want those features didn't have to pay for it. They got a cheaper truck, but now, man, I want to buy that truck, but I really want this other model. Oh, I can get this one and just upgrade it. Like that's a good secondary market right there.
I get your point. I hate it.
Okay.
I'm just going to straight up tell you. I hate
just
your
saying.
point.
I feel like it puts less
not
vehicles
wrong.
on. I guess I feel like it puts less vehicles on the road that are just going to be tossed because they're not the model that people
No, it's
want.
not.
They do. Like
I mean-
I don't want to pay that much. I want a 2-wheel drive version of this truck because I'm never going to go off roading. I just like the look and I want to drive around town.
All right,
But
Mr.
somebody
Toyota
else-
owner.
I know. It was actually a Chevrolet, and I have no idea why anybody ever buys a truck that's 2-wheel drive. I just don't. But
Doesn't make any
anyway,
sense.
It was freebie.
So this is personal for you. You just wish you could do this with your truck.
No, I just constantly had this question when I owned this 2-wheel drive truck that was given to me. Who would have wanted this?
Why did that? Why is it two-wheel drive?
Why did Chevrolet make a truck that's
Because it's cheaper
two-wheel
than four-wheel
drive?
drive. There's
Exactly.
less parts.
Because
And-
there's
and
there's
so now-
places like Texas
and so-
that never snow.
the only problem is Rivian's taking a hit here because they have to make the same car, right? They have to put the same expense battery in the vehicle, regardless of
Same
whether or not
motor.
the same motor.
On the other side of
regardless
that
of
too,
you
like
upgrade.
this just creates more
So-
confusion in the marketplace, and it's just
It
bad for
reduces
consumers all around.
confusion.
I don't like it.
Last but not least, what that does is it brings your acceleration down 0 to 60 from 4.5 to 3.4
Okay,
seconds.
no, I hate them now. Sorry. If you're gonna like, I should be able to spend as much battery power. I got battery.
No, I'm saying it increases your acceleration.
to drop to go to the lower one.
No,
To pay more money.
To pay more money. Yeah.
Yeah, acceleration. No, acceleration should be the same on both models. That's some bullcrap.
Why
Like,
would
if
you
I
not
wanna-
get more acceleration
because-
if you're increasing the power?
Because if I want
just
to
how it works.
drop the hammer and spend all of my little battery in one little 10-foot drive, then I should be able to do that regardless. Don't take my accelerator
Like,
from
so
me.
you
If
gotta
I'm
pay for
mad,
that, Owen.
what if I'm mad? What if I got
Switch
what-
sides.
what a
Yeah,
place to
again,
draw
I
the
switched
line.
back. Yeah,
What a
I
place
know.
to draw the line.
I was like, don't take my accelerator. You guys can all rot. I'll never buy one of
Coming
your
into this
cars.
conversation late because I had a rapid unplanned disassembly of my computer. Owen doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's just all
I
over
was
the place.
I was saying great words there for a minute though.
I was
like,
saying
come
good
on.
words, the best words.
I
you all
had
heard
I
it.
had a bunch of word salad that sounded 98%
And then
All
you
right.
switched opinions halfway through the word
Yeah.
salad to make it two different points.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean
there you
that's the head issues. That's
That's coming to Rivian soon. For not all of them, but some of them. I think it's only. I want to say it was only for the Gen 2 stuff. But
two people nodded their head while listening to that. I bet you. Two people. Write in, support me. At least two of you.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's only the second gen stuff.
Owen's
So
not crazy.
first gen stuff. Sorry, you got what you paid for already, and you can't upgrade
Yeah.
it by a
The
software.
way God intended it to be.
What a Luddite.
All right, Jaren, let's talk about how there might actually be hope for Intel.
Yeah, a ray of hope. They had a good GPU launch, unlike Nvidia.
Oh, Nvidia's was a turd.
Still is.
Yep.
Ongoing.
And now news is Nvidia and Broadcom are conducting manufacturing tests using Intel's new 18A chip production process, which would be
That sounds
amazing
impressive.
for Intel Fab.
That competes with TSMC.
Yes, it does. So according to sources, let's hope the sources are true, because we don't want Intel to go belly up. We need that competition.
Don't click into the link.
Yeah. The problem with this news at this point is, as of February, their yield rates are 20 to 30% for 18A.
That's bad.
That's real bad.
That's a lot
So
of
they got a
waste.
lot of ground to make up, but that is headed in the right direction because we need the competition in the marketplace for sure.
Yeah.
What's the size of that process? 18A.
I read 2 nanometers somewhere, but I'm trying to verify that. But
That
this
seems
source
small.
sucks. Yeah, let me Google that while you guys.
1.8
continue.
nanometer.
Move on to the next.
Intel has unveiled its advanced manufacturing technology, Intel 18A, which uses a 1.8 nanometer manufacturing process,
Oh, I was right. 2.
1.8. That is
Nah.
teeny tiny.
marking
Holy
a significant
cow.
step in its efforts to reclaim the leadership in the semiconductor.
That's wild.
Yeah.
People.
Yep.
No wonder they're only seeing 20 to 30% right now. TSMC isn't even doing 1.8 nanometer.
Well, good on
Okay.
Intel.
Yep. I'm sure TSMC is testing 1.8 nanometer,
Yeah.
but at that 20
Intel's
to
just trying to come
30%
to
yield
market
is
faster.
20 to
It's
30%
leak.
yield is testing as well. You might as well call it. That's not ready
Yeah.
for manufacturing.
You're not
Yeah,
even-
and
yeah,
there's
you're not able to
enough
produce.
demand for silicon out there that even if they're a year late or something, I'm sure they can get plenty of business.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
I hear that they stalled the U.S. Plants now? The U.S. foundries.
They
for
did
another
the
little
I want to say Ohio.
bit? Yeah.
The Ohio plant got pushed back to an online date of 2030.
Oof, yeah.
So it was supposed to be, I want
With
to
those-
say 2028.
Yeah, with the tariffs, it's been more expensive to get your delicious gadgets and electronics.
All right. Speaking of gadgets, iPod. Nope, not anymore. iPad Air.
There it is. Nailed it.
iPad Air has now been updated with the M3 chip
You getting
instead
it?
of the
You
M2.
gonna get it, Jaren?
No, because the iPad Pro has an M4 chip.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the iPad Air.
the Air.
So, like, how much? I have a question from a stupid point of view. At the end of the day, for normal people who are just watching Netflix and playing games on the iPad, does it really
No.
matter?
No.
No.
The whole reason they're doing this is so they can wind down production of the M2 chip, because this was the only thing that was still under manufacturing with the M2 chip.
Yeah, because I mean, this iPad looked just taking a quick glance at the
But-
specs looked pretty freaking boss.
It's
but as
everything-
but as an Apple fanboy, Landon, you have to say yes that it does make a difference. You're required. Look
you're
at the
right, I am
contract.
required.
Look at the requirement. Look at the contract. My
Check
guy.
out that fine print.
The upgrade I wish they would have done is put an OLED screen in it.
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah,
That would actually have made a difference.
Or at the very least, if they're not going to do an OLED screen, give it 120 hertz. It's still 60 hertz.
Yeah.
So they reserve those special tasty treats for the Pro line.
but you're paying almost double for the Pro line, right?
Oh yeah, it's a big jump for sure. Now, if you're not anal retentive about that stuff, like myself and Jaren, and you don't need the M4
No
power,
one has called me anal retentive before.
Dude.
I call you
I
anal
can't
retentive
believe
on a
that.
weekly basis.
Dude.
What?
Maybe that's only in my head.
Dude.
Anyway, this is a fantastic iPad for anyone that doesn't need the M4 or doesn't really care about the
Who
120
would
hertz.
who would be
OLED.
someone who would need the M4? Like, who is that person?
There's a couple other niceties that the M4
Like-
version has for artists.
When you
And the
say
new pencil,
need, do you
stuff
mean
like that.
need or like need?
Yeah, exactly.
When you're at their level, Lando, you got to remember need is want.
Remember what I said? Anal retentive? Us,
Want
right
is
here,
need.
Jaren and me.
I'm
Want is
I'm
need
trying
and
to
need is
figure out
want.
why I would like if I'm okay. Let's pretend for a second I'm in the microphone iPad. What things would bump me up into the iPad Pro territory? Like, what features, requirements? what am
for
I
me-
doing on a daily basis that I would need that for?
For me, I
Fanboy
wanted
shilling?
the OLED screen for reading my comic books.
But that was a
It
I
looks-
need that thing. But like, you don't need it, right?
It's a better picture.
You ever seen that episode of SpongeBob when he tries to hang out in Sandy's bio dome in air and he doesn't have water? And he says, I need it. Yeah. That's me with the OLED screen.
Interesting. Okay.
Like when you could get a better picture for a very specific thing you're going to be doing on that device. I can see you doing that.
Artists, definitely.
I would never.
Yeah, that's what I
never
said.
Need it.
That's what I said first. Artists,
because they have access to the Pencil Pro, which gives you a lot more features than just the normal.
Okay, Jaron.
Pencil.
Same question to you, Jaron. Why you?
Why me?
Tony has the comic book
because I deserve it.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I love that answer.
Very special, Jared. I'm a special boy, and I deserve it.
Absolutely on brand. Like
that
was so deadpan.
Yeah,
I think he means it.
Yeah, that was prepared because I need it.
I'm a special boy. I deserve a special treat.
Oh,
that's why.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do that if I had the opportunity. To be fair, I would do it.
All right. Let's talk real quick about we have another Apple story here. Apple UK users are kind of getting shafted right now.
Yeah, this is from over a week ago, but the UK government is they want a backdoor into Apple's encryption.
Here we go. Yeah.
And as we know, a backdoor to encryption means a backdoor for everyone.
Yep.
Therefore, it's not encrypted. So, what's the point of encryption? It seems though the UK government doesn't quite understand this, but I mean politicians, so yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So rather than cave and break their encryption for everyone, they're just disabling encryption altogether for everyone that lives in the UK. So that kind of blows for everyone there.
And you know what the politicians are saying? Good, we got what we wanted.
Yeah.
Fine.
The people don't like it. We still got what we wanted.
This is what we wanted. When they get their phones, all of them hacked now, like their encrypted data.
Well, that's what the government wanted, though. They wanted a backdoor, therefore they would be able to spy on everyone in the entire world.
Watch Android's market share go.
And that's the other thing too.
Well, Android's not encrypted either for the text.
Yeah, you can't put an encryption in for one country or one region, and not expect it to work everywhere else in the world.
This is the first time Apple's gone toe to toe with government agencies about privacy either, like that. Like, they've decided that encryption and their right to retain that is like the hill they are going to die on. They got a bunch of high praise and good PR for it the last time they did it, and so they're like, well, let's just do that again.
Yep.
And now they're out.
The sad thing is there'll be a few people who are really pissed by this, rightly so, but the great majority, they won't even care.
Won't even notice.
They won't even notice. Yeah. Yep.
Does that allow the government now to spy on their devices without that encryption, right?
Yeah.
That's what that does, right?
Yeah, that's what that does.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh, we only got one story left. We might as well hit it. Something about ISPs in New York.
Yeah, I thought we talked about this. Did we talk about where ISPs New York set the state level requirements for ISPs to provide a cheaper alternative, like a lower income, a low affordable speed? I guess
I know this has come up before in other conversations.
So ISPs are really upset because New York put a law out saying you need to offer good broadband, like good high speed internet, for an affordable price.
Yep.
How dare you?
Because it's not just a,
it's a utility
pay to win. It's a utility, right? Like you need it to progress everything.
Yeah. Google Fiber went down on my house last night for the first time in 2 years, and I did not know what to do with myself. Like I was watching Netflix before I went to bed and went down. And I'm like,
yeah,
crap. Now what?
So New York's law sleep or talk to your wife.
Yeah,
my wife was working, so I was by myself.
Oh
man, did you just like stare at the wall?
Yeah, I turned on cellular data and felt bad about myself.
Screw that. Yeah, right. Like I got Tether and watched Netflix on my phone. So their law requires internet service providers to offer broadband for $15 to $20 a month, and so that was the law, and it spurred a bunch of legal legislative efforts for ISPs to be like, no, we can't do that. Even though on net neutrality and all the infrastructure bill, they were supposed to be doing all that, lowering prices, guaranteeing access and service. And this guy, Chris Morrow, a newly elected Democratic state legislator in Vermont, he introduced the bill. And so now Vermont has one. And they're like, hold on. But then the law, New York's law got challenged and they upheld it. So the precedence is set. And so now the ISPs are like, hold on, we don't want that. We don't want to take, we don't want this to go to a state level where we're going to lose in the weeds to every state, right? They wanted this federal, the FCC, they had this one linchpin on the FCC. And if they can control that one body of governance, they could say, no, you can't make us do that. But because it's been kicked down to the state level and New York's got upheld, now Vermont's is getting upheld, the ISPs are starting to get a little bit more nervous. And so it's kind of what's happening out there. The ISPs are getting a little cagey and capitalism's going to capitalize and they're getting mad about it. So anyway, that's
Did you see what AT&T's response to it was?
It's in here. What
They stopped offering 5G home internet service.
Yeah, they moved.
They're
out.
just
They're
like,
no.
well, taking our ball and going home. Then
You can't make us give cheap internet to freaking homeless plebs, unhomed plebs. So.
Yep. All right. Well, there you go.
I hope
Okay,
it takes
that's
off.
it for.
I hope it takes off.
Yeah, it should go every state. I think
Mhm.
should have a rule like that, a law like that, because it is a utility at this point. Anyway, I think that's the end of our show today. Thanks for making it this far and downloading us and listening and all of those good things. But before we go, a big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. And Lando has an explanation about the Patreon stuff.
So yeah, you guys give us some money, and I personally need to apologize to you, Patreon listeners. Provide you with better service than I have been. Just because I'm not paid doesn't mean you're not paying.
He has to
for
pimp
better
the
stuff.
Patreon every
So
time and accept it every week.
I feel really bad. I've been thinking about it all show, and I'm like, I'm such a piece of crap. Anyway,
That's the
if
first
you give us your
step
dollar,
to...
what?
To not being a piece of crap.
Yeah.
I should change my ways and repent. Okay, if you give us your dollar dues, which we are very grateful if you do, $1, all kinds of great benefits. Both shows all together with the bonus in between content, early, ad-free, special super secret RSS feed, specifically only for you through Patreon. You get access to the super secret Discord channel. I'll give you a little insight into that super secret Discord channel. Today we were talking about baseball and how the Dodgers are better than the Padres, and I hated everything about that conversation. So I think that a lot of the Patreon subs were just prodding and poking me, which I hate.
That was the general Discord.
Oh, was it general?
Yeah, it wasn't just the patrons.
Never mind, that was general. But super secret stuff happens in Discord, regardless, and it's better. So that's that. If you pay us $6 or more a month, you can have Jared say whatever you want, which I want to notice, and I want to pay special shout out to. I have noticed that a lot of you have been taking advantage of this super special $6 a month bonus by making Jared say whatever you want. So thank you for doing that, because it's been great fun and it brings enjoyment to my heart every time Jared has to say something silly. So keep it up.
You know what, though? Jake the dog from Adventure Time has some words of wisdom for you, Lando.
Yeah, what's that?
It says, sucking at something is the first step towards being sort of good at something.
Ooh, I like this.
So quit sucking at this and start making steps toward being sort of good at it.
Okay, I can do that. Jaron, do your thing, buddy.
Thank you to David Broshinsky, Interrupting Cow, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, and Badgers, we don't need no stinking Badgers.
That's UHF.
This so much.
All right, okay. Patrick Stewart's hairstylist. Lucky guy. Jason Eatman. What does Lambo and ChatGPT have in common? Both have artificial intelligence.
Boom roasted.
Hello, Governor. Be the 8-year-old. Kyle. It feels like Lando is trying to start a Patreon cult. Smart Bart. Tony the Excel and Power Apps nerd. Pieman Graphics. Purveyor of fine geeky stickers. Jeremy. Cursed Gengar 94. Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, the in-between rating plus 69. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England. DP, I need Lang's love. Wesley, AMD's nuts. Oh, Stuart Boyd, today's hits won't win tomorrow's game. And finally, thank you, hosts. You've made us smile.
All right. Thank you so
Except
much, Patreon
Lando.
backers.
Did you really say except Lando?
No, it doesn't.
Sharon broke his camera again.
No,
Yeah.
it's crashing.
Your new special camera that you spent a bunch of money on is
I know,
not
it's-
performing very well, if I might
Keeps on
say.
crashing.
All right. That's it. We'll see you guys next week or in a couple days on Arcade or in just a minute if you're a Patreon member with the in-between. We're done. Until then, Lando, take us out.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should be an end user.
Jurassic Park, huh?